Imagine the black backlash.
Yeah, I mean,
Uh,
they pretty much had to copy paste on that because if they didn't, it
yeah,
was going to be bad.
yeah,
They couldn't even call it Elden Ring at that point.
yeah. Uh,
There we go. No, it was not the
yeah.
cache. It was just connectivity between two servers,
Well,
which
I
is
will
fine.
be
But
right back.
guys, we are here with the game rant. Like I said a second ago, I'll get rid of those other ones. But we're going to be talking about a bunch of different games, topics, and things like that. So, any opinions you guys have, feel free to chime in on chat. If we say something that you're like, I don't know about that, please go ahead, say it. Let us know. Uh, Mainly, this is going to be a lot of our. Let's try again. Yeah, there's a connection issue. I think it's mainly because of the rain and stuff today. It's definitely wonked out a bunch of shit. But other than that, so a lot of the discussion today, I've just got gameplay going in the background. I'm not doing anything major. This is mainly just discussion. So if there's a video game that you like or want to hear our thoughts on in the discussion, please put it in there. Tell us what your thoughts are on that game. And let's just get going. Right now they were talking about Night Rain, which Snickers had a lot of information he was just dropping. Snickers, go right ahead.
Okay, so basically, like we were already saying, the game it's visually stunning. It's a beautiful game. They did a really good job using the aesthetic that Elden Ring had already put out. They did fantastic with it as far as keeping it true to the original. The problem that most players have is just it's not FromSoft. That's I think the biggest problem that I'm seeing. Um, for me personally, it's not as big of an issue, but like I enjoy the game. It's
Right.
not Elden Ring. It's not Dark Souls. It's not a Souls-like game. It's something different. But I think that they did a very good job putting out something for players that like a faster pace. They like something that they can kind of get in and get out of. They can get up to a boss fight. You know, you get 3 days to do some stuff, get all your flasks, things like that. They did a really good job on making sure that people could do a faster paced game style.
Right.
You also don't have to worry about any invaders. So, like people like me that like to go into the starting area, for instance, and invade people and just try and take people out. You don't have to worry about it because it's not going to happen. There
I
are
like
no
killing invaders.
invaders. Yeah, that's the whole thing. Like, this was something for the people that don't like dealing with invaders, that still want to play with their buddies and have a good time, but they don't want to deal with invaders. That was the basis for this entire thing. It had nothing to do with trying to put something out with the Elden Ring name to try and, get money. Because honestly, they did a good job at it. I'm not gonna lie. I'll say it flat out. They did a good job
There
with
were
what they
still
were
aspects
trying
that
to
were
do.
absolute shit.
There were. That's the biggest problem, is that there were two things that they're major things that they did wrong. And had they put the game out with these two things correct, I think the game would have been better received. I think it would have been more playworthy, instead of having to fix it in the aftermath. And
Right.
that's kind of where we're at. So like they're fixing the fact that you couldn't go in and play solo or play with your duo. Um,
That should have
like
been something
me,
that should have been done right off the rip. Just
yeah.
like
So
with if
like
you're
me
gonna
and
put
you,
the Elden Ring name on something, then you need to make sure you can play both aspects. Don't team up with people. They just like doing their own thing.
yeah. So like me and you, we play a lot of duo stuff. So like
Right.
we couldn't have gone on there and just done duos. Couldn't have done it. It wouldn't have worked because the game is still hard as far as trying to play. So they kind of kept it with the whole idea of Dark Souls Elden Ring, where you have three players. You go into a game, you're playing together. It's fast
Hmm.
paced. You go in, you get your stuff done. Third day, you do a boss fight, which was okay. But the problem was, if me and you said, "Hey, let's team up, let's do a duo thing, let's go in here, let's just run through," it was still as hard as having three players in the game, but now it's just me and you. And they didn't have it to where you can actually set it to where it was just me and you.
So it just
I mean,
wouldn't scale.
You could do a password, kind of like
No,
in
no,
Elden
no.
Ring and Dark Souls.
The difficulty
But
wouldn't scale.
the difficulty didn't scale at all, not a bit. So like if I wanted to, go on offline and play and do it by myself, it's just as hard as having 3 players in the game, but now it's just me, and I still have to take on that final boss on the 3rd day. The other problem was, and I actually forgot there was a third problem. We'll get into that third one here in just a moment. The second problem was it was not cross-platform. So day one, if you bought the game, if you had it, if you downloaded it, jumped on it, day one, loading times, getting into a party was a nightmare. It was bad. I did not enjoy it.
Cross-plat really, really helps with that. I don't know why the hell they didn't do that right off rip.
So, honestly, I think that had they decided to go the route of I think if they had decided to go the route of cross-platform, it would have been better received. People would have had a better time. There wouldn't have been these long loading times trying to pick up a game. And all I'm saying is that if they had decided to add in cross-platform and make it to where you could, if you only wanted to play with people on PlayStation, if you had it on PlayStation, you could set that. If you only wanted to play with people on Xbox, if you had Xbox, you could do that.
Just like Elden Ring did. We could customize how we were connecting.
Well, kind of, sort of, not really. So Elden Ring is also another game where it's console specific. All of the Dark Souls games are.
Right, but
I couldn't get on Xbox and then play with you on the PlayStation. But kind of like on Call of Duty, where they have the button where you could play with everybody.
Right, that's not what I'm talking about. Like Elden Ring's loading didn't take us long. Even on drop day, it didn't take us long. It was easy to connect to each other. The enemies scaled with us. It wasn't, if I go in here by myself, I don't need 3 fucking people. I can do this. You didn't have to worry about all that. And I again, stand by. If you are going to say Elden Ring Night Rain, then you should have some of the base core mechanics that were in Elden Ring itself.
So, yes and no. I mean, you're right and you're wrong at the same time. So, with Elden Ring, you're going in as a solo player. You do log in online, and it doesn't take you that long to load into the game, which is fantastic. But you are initially going in as a solo player. With Elden Ring Night Rain, you don't get that option. You go in as a party of 3. Just straight off the rip. You go in on launch day, it goes into loading, it finds you a party, you go in with 3 people. And that's why it took so long. That's why the loading screen took so long to get.
See, I thought you meant like you go in, you have to find a party. Like, not like you could go in.
No, it immediately starts searching for a party, and then it puts you into a game. And that's why those loading screens took so long. Which
wouldn't it have made more sense to let some time?
Like
Elden Ring didn't go in solo and then take that core mechanic of you could either do this by yourself or go find a couple guys. That would have killed so much loading time for people.
Well, the problem is that they were trying to do a fast-paced game. So you get three days to go in and do what you've got to do. On the 3rd day, you're going into the final boss fight of that day. So whatever boss that you chose at the beginning when you load in, you get your 3 players, you go in, you drop in, and then you go on your way doing everything that you had to do. On day 3, because it's kind of like best way to describe it is like Fortnite. So you have that smoke that comes in, and it's a circle. It brings you down to the final circle, right? So it's kind of the same thing on Elden Ring Night Rain, where you have like a fire that brings you down to a final circle. That final circle is a boss fight for the 1st day. It's not like a major boss fight. It can be, not necessarily. One of the worst things to get, I think, is I can't remember the name. It's like Mirai Executioner or something like that. But Merciless Executioner, that's it. It sucked to get certain bosses on like the days, but when you got to the 3rd day, you went into the boss that you chose. So their whole idea was, if we do the loading time, get you a party at the beginning of it, when you go in, you're able to get over to where you've got to go, do your thing, get everything done, and then go into your final boss fight. And it's not going to take you as long to find a party, because the whole thing is it's fast paced. And I like fast paced. I like that it's I like that it is a decent fast-paced game where I can go in, and if I want to just do something really quickly, I can drop in, get a party, go through, do my thing, just quick.
Right.
But with that being said, that leads us into the second issue of voice chat. You had no voice chat. Unless you were partied up with that person and you went into a party chat on either PlayStation or Xbox or PC, you had no way of communicating with your team members. So your team members would just run off and do their own thing. You'd come across, because there are multiple different boss-style fights throughout the entire map, kind of like with Elden Ring, and you would go through and find one of those bosses, and it maybe be something that you can't take on your own.
Right.
You could ping and try and get them to come back to you, but you couldn't tell them, hey guys, I've got something going on over here. This is the boss that I just came up on. We're going to get some good loot. Come back over here and help me take them out. So you had to stay together as a party. Even if you didn't feel like going the way that they wanted to go, if they weren't going your way, you either stay with them to try and get some more stuff or have to deal with stuff on your own.
Right. Okay. Man.
And that's that's the second problem. The third problem that I kind of forgot about, it just dropped out of my mind. Let's see, it was voice chat, it was the loading times. Oh, actually, the voice chat was the third problem. The other problem that I have an issue with, the biggest thing that I have a problem with, if they would have done it on day one, was just because we talked about, what was it?
We talked about the core mechanics and loading time. The fact that there's no voice chat.
Voice chat.
Did
we talk about the ability to, like, get players?
No, that was another one we were coming up with.
Okay, so, yeah, because I'm going back and forth between the conversation we had before stream and now. So the other issue is that, like, I just want to be able to play if I want a duo, and they're fixing it circumvent. They're kind of coming up on the aftermath, and they're seeing, hey, we have a lot of people that want to play as a duo and go into this game and play together, but they didn't do it day one. So, like, me and Bjorn couldn't jump in together, say, hey, we're going to go in here and play this, because, you know, like I think I already said, it was just as hard to go in with two people as it was to go in with three. But the scaling mechanic for the game, if I went in there on my own on Elden Ring, it would be a certain difficulty. If I summoned another person, it would go up on the difficulty just a little bit. But then if you add a third person in, it goes up a little higher. Going in with one or two people, the way that the game was originally when it came out, it was just as hard for one or two people as it would be for three people. So you didn't have that extra. And if they had fixed those three things, just do cross-platform for quicker loading times to find you a party, add in voice chat on the game, because let's face it, it is Elden Ring-esque, but it is not Elden Ring, so it's not a From Software game. They could have added in the voice chat. It would not have affected a single thing. It would have actually helped many players out.
Right.
They just...
And then at that point, like, I still stand by what I said. Like, if it's Elden Ring-esque and not Elden Ring core mechs, don't put Elden Ring in the title.
And, you know, it doesn't bother me as much because, like I said, the game, it is Elden Ring. Like, it is Elden Ring because they took everything, they pretty much copied and pasted, and then just added in another mechanic on top of it. So if you're looking for a fast-paced game that's Dark Souls-esque or Elden Ring-esque, absolutely pick up Elden Ring, Night Rain. It's fantastic for you. You'll really enjoy the fast pace, but at the same time, just be aware
You're
if
gonna
they
hate
haven't
yourself.
already fixed it, you will be having to wait on two other players. And if you want to speak with somebody, you're going to have to do it in party chats. So don't expect to go in the game and just see a bunch of people and expect them to go your way, because they're not. They absolutely will
No.
not. You're going to have to figure it out on your own. You either go with them or you go on your own and try and beat some bosses. However, with that said, they did do one thing that I do kind of like. If I went on there and I killed a boss and the other two players were somewhere way off, somewhere in the distance,
Yeah.
the spawn, like the items that drop from the reward for killing that boss, goes to everybody. So even if they run off and do their own thing, you could still run back over where they killed the boss at and get your items.
Right. Okay. Still, I do not like the I'm sorry, I just did not like it. Like, I did not like it at all.
And I respect that. Like, it's not a game for everyone. For me, I enjoyed it, but that's just because
That's the thing. I enjoy Souls-like games. I enjoy fast-paced Souls-like games.
Well,
That's
that's the whole
fine.
thing.
It
It's not
didn't.
a Souls-like. It's a Souls-esque. There's a huge difference. It's like Lords of the Fallen. Everyone says that it's Souls-like. It's more Souls-esque to me.
Yeah.
Which I know you got some comments on it.
Oh, no,
Go
no,
ahead,
no.
Rebel.
I can actually agree with some of that, and I don't
I
think
said
Rebel's
Rebel.
back yet. I don't think
Oh.
Rebel's back yet. But I can agree to an extent on that one.
Yeah, I think that it would have been better had they done a few things. Now, Elden Ring, love the game. If you want something that's a little slower paced, where you can kind of have some fun, get invaded by enemies, get better to where you just take them out, that's the game to go to. If you don't want to deal with all of those people trying to, invade and kill you, then possibly don't go into that
it's
one.
Stuff like that also made me like lose my love for playing COD. Like Call of Duty's not Call of Duty anymore. At all. It's not. What people call COD now? No. Like there were no cartoony skins. There were no like 10,000 fucking things you had to fucking do just to do one thing.
Out of curiosity, does the starting armor matter in Monster Hunter Wilds?
Just not really.
So you can kind of go with what you want.
Yeah, you can kind of go with her. Are you in Wilds right now? Motherfucker, I would have stayed over there had I known.
Just kind of, doing my thing here.
I wish you would have fucking said something.
I just got the game, man. I'm just going through and. Okay, now how do I... Oh, there we go.
Where the hell did Rebel go? Did he die?
I'm not entirely sure where he went.
He just like fell off face of the earth.
But as far as like Call of Duty, because you mentioned it, man, I just want them to fix it.
I don't think
I
they're
want
ever
them to
going
fix. Well, I mean, okay, they keep, and I'm doing this with air quotations. They keep updating the the software that detects cheaters and hackers and all of that. I just want them to fix it to where it's actually working, because I don't think that it's ever worked, not once.
No.
Like when I watch a kill cam and somebody's shooting straight up into the sky and the bullets are hitting me, that's a problem.
Yeah, and
And
you're like, oh, our software is the most updated. Um, where?
and I'm just gonna say it outright. And I think that you would agree with me when I say this. If we're going to go back into Call of Duty, if they want players to continue playing the game, then they need to put it back to where it is adult friendly.
Yeah.
It's not adult friendly anymore. They've made it kid
No,
friendly. They have made
it
it
is fucking Fortnite with updated guns.
because I mean, let's be honest. When any kid goes into a GameStop, Walmart, anywhere that video games are sold, and they go up to the counter and they say, "I want to buy this game," two things are going to happen. Number one, if the kid is under 17 years old and that kid walks up to the counter, the guy behind the counter is going to look at him and say, "Look, kid, you got to bring your parents in here. They got to approve you to buy this game," or they have to have an ID showing that they're older than 17. Either
Right.
way, that kid, if his parents look at the game, they know what they're buying him. Most of the dads out there right now have played Call of Duty. They know what it's like. If they're going to get it for their kid, they know what's going to happen. They know what's coming. Because putting it to where you can't teabag anybody anymore, that was the dumbest thing ever.
Yeah, that was fucking Halo 2 glory days for guys our age. Like, that's where it all
It's been
came,
going
fucking
for
came from.
years. It's been going for years. And
Like,
now they're saying that that's
we have teabag scores. You used to
harassment.
get scored on that shit.
Yeah.
Like, you used to earn points like, ooh, teabag. And you would get fucking points for doing it. And now it's just like, what the fuck you mean it's a goddamn problem? It's just
What do you mean I got banned for 30 days? All I did was show him I'm better. So
it's how we talk shit.
bro.
Like one-on-ones, fuck, those are rites of passage. Like, if you ran the one, you were joining a clan, you were settling a dispute, and if win or lose, like, once that one-on-one was done, that dispute was over with. Like, there were nothing else to it.
Yeah. They have made it too kid friendly. If they were that worried about it, tell those kids go back to Fortnite where they came from.
No, I completely agree. I also don't agree with, like, letting Fortnite take, like, our best characters and then putting them in some goofy ass skin. Nah, y'all didn't earn. Like, we had to earn the rights for skins and unlocks. You had to beat the game. You had to grind the game out. We earned our shit.
Wrong. Like I'm all for if they want to throw on like some skins for people to purchase, and people want to spend their money on that. I'm all for that. You know, they want to make extra money. Cool, that's fine.
Then just do your own.
Don't let somebody else come in.
Right. It is shit like that. It's just fucking annoying. Like, I don't play games like that because of that shit right there. Like,
What are we talking about?
Right now we're the rant is on old school game. Like, okay, Call of Duty. You remember when Call of Duty used to be like fucking
When it was good?
Yeah, when it was adult friendly. Like, if you got fucking teabagged, you got teabagged because you got owned. Now you get banned for it. Like, you guys are taking away the aspect of, like, all your OGs who still play.
And just keep one thing in mind. That was our fucking
thing. This is how we spoke to each other. It wasn't meant to be disrespectful. It was like, man, I got you, teabag, and you go for revenge after that.
Yeah, we do it back and forth. But just keep one thing in mind. One very important thing. And if anybody from like Treyarch or any of the people from Call of Duty or that make the Call of Duty games happen to come across this, please, you can quote me on this 100%. Remember who buys your games. It is the adults. It is the people that have played since the original Call of Duty. We have been your diehard fans since the beginning, and you are alienating us completely.
I gave up on Call of Duty a long time ago. To be
that's kind of where I'm. That's actually kind of where I am at with Call of Duty. Like, don't get me wrong.
Well,
I still play for the zombies because, and even then, zombies has been kind of letting me down.
Here's the thing. Call of Duty, Treyarch, and Infinity Ward, both. They're really re-releasing the same game for fucking $60, $70, $100 for their fucking ultimate bundle pack, whatever. All you're getting is weapon reskins.
And like, you guys...
Yeah.
You guys released...
New maps and weapon reskins that you could have put in the previous Call of Duty as a DLC for $15.
It's like, you guys gave us the new Modern Warfare's 1, 2, and all that, but y'all fucking don't realize how bad you fucked shit up. Like, instead of watching Ghost fucking die, we just watched Soap fucking die. Like, it could be an alternate timeline. That's not the point. Well, Call of Duty doesn't play in timelines.
It does, actually.
Not like, not
the original. The original Modern Warfare 1, 2, and 3, that was one giant storyline. That if you played from the first Modern Warfare to the end of the original third one, the original 3, it was one giant storyline with Ghost and Soap.
It was. But see, when they did the remasters, the second and the third games I thought were way bad.
So I was a huge fan of the first one, partially because that was the first one that took like an actual sniping style mission. You're crawling underneath tanks as they're moving. You're like, that was cool.
Yeah, that was cool.
The second one was all right. The third one, you could tell by the third one, it was like you could really see the direction that they were starting to push Call of Duty, and they were giving up on the single player aspect of the game and solely pumping out multiplayer.
Which is why, like, a lot of us still buy the product. It's for the single player. We want that fucking story. Because those characters, for fucking us, those were our diehards. Fuck Captain Price. Fucking OG. Y'all have paid no homage to Roach. At all. Your key characters that made us all, like, fucking fall in love with the storyline for the original M-Dubs 1, 2, and 3. Like, you just changed it all.
Right. Putz is already on Phasmophobia playing the new map.
I mean, we can flip to Phas while we're still ranting. I mean, he's just going to have to deal with some ranting, too.
I gotta...
no, if I flip, I want to be immersed into Phas.
Right, well, we're going to finish up our rant, and then we're probably going to jump over to Phasmophobia, folks. But, like, I think the only game that I can legitimately say that they have not taken and... Well, no, I can't say that about that anymore either. Fucking Gears, like, I'm a diehard Gears guy. But once you started getting into the later ones, 4, 5, all that, so what the fuck? What were you all going for? What was the premises of this? Because there's in the timeline that you have, this should not be.
See, I haven't played anything past Gears of War 3.
No.
And partially because I won't even say partially. Mostly because I've never been an Xbox person. I've always been Sony. Like, I went from Nintendo Entertainment System, Sega Genesis, Nintendo 64, PlayStation 1, and then every console since then has been PlayStation. I have an Xbox One. I'm sitting here looking at it. I have played it. I can count on one hand 4 fucking times that I've turned that thing on and played it.
Yeah,
I've got a Series S. I mean, I can go back and forth. It doesn't bug me as much, but like I've always preferred PlayStation. Always.
Yeah.
And all of my friends are on PlayStation, so every time I swap over to the Xbox, it feels bad because all of the people that I know and play with and enjoy playing with
and
are
you
on the
got
PlayStation.
you got drugged to the Xbox side by somebody else, and you hated it.
Well, I've got multiple people that drug me over to the Xbox side. It wasn't just one.
It was primarily one.
Well, actually, it stems from a person that I used to work with at the factory that I was working at before the job that I'm currently working. They swapped to Xbox, and me and him were diehard PlayStation. He swapped to Xbox, and now he's actually coming back to PlayStation because he's not having fun.
No.
I will say this though, since we're ranting about console war going on, Xbox, you're kind of doing things right.
Yeah, they
are.
finally do.
That new console coming out.
Oh yeah, I
with
think
having
slick.
Steam capable and like Xbox saying fuck it, we're not doing exclusives anymore. We're gonna put all of our titles out on everything.
Yeah,
so that's what I've been saying for years.
PlayStation,
I have
take
said
notes.
for years. Well, that's the whole thing. Like I have said for years, do not focus on putting things out on your console. Focus on putting things out for the gamers, for the players.
You will make more money.
Do things for the players across every console because the more consoles you put it on, the more money you're going to make.
Right.
The more players you're going to have. And if you're willing to put things out there to help out the players, to give them more games to play, access to more things, they're going to be so much happier. And Xbox started it. So when Xbox said, hey, we're not going to do exclusives anymore, we're going to make all of our games across every platform. We're putting them out there. We're going to send Halo over to PlayStation. We're going to put Gears of War over on PlayStation. PlayStation came back and said, hey,
I'm
you
waiting
know
for
what?
them to announce one more title coming to PlayStation, and I would be so happy. And that's Fable.
Yes.
If they brought Fable over to PlayStation, I would.
Oh my god!
They most likely will.
I will gamer cream.
They most likely will. That's the whole thing. They're doing it right. They are absolutely. They're absolutely doing it correct. Xbox has 100% started the process. It's going to start happening. You're going to see more PlayStation titles coming across. The only one that we have not seen is Bloodborne, and that's because Sony refuses to give up the rights. If they give up the rights, FromSoft can start putting out games.
Right, and while I agree with you with everything that you've said, the big thing is you have Microsoft and Sony.
I love Fable. Hell yeah.
As publishing, they're once publishing the games. So, you know, you have a game that you want to release on Sony, and you have a game that you want to release on Xbox. The problem is who do you get to publish it? Because that was the biggest issue. Is Xbox was like, well, we'll publish it, but we want exclusive rights to this game.
Well, here's the thing.
Sony would be like,
if you take out the exclusive rights to it, don't do exclusive anymore. Xbox publishes a game. Sony, we want to put it on your platform. This is the percentage that we offer you from the rates of what we sell to your guys. Cool, and vice versa. That's how the trade works. But
here's the whole thing.
Kind of, but you got to remember it's being ran by greedy, money-hungry people.
Oh yeah, 100%.
That's been the whole problem. But you have to think though, if they stop all of this nonsense about trying to rake the money in for console exclusives, like God of War. Let's face it, God of War is a great game. I like God of War. Played it on the PlayStation 2. Bought it again when it came up to PlayStation 3. Bought it again when it came up to PlayStation 4. Played it all the way through. Love God of War. But they would bring in so much more money if they would put it out for everyone. Stop focusing on the console wars. And I mean, you can make your console stand out without having to have exclusive games.
And in all honesty, console
do the best.
Died.
It really did.
We don't give a fuck about that anymore.
Well,
we just want what we want as gamers. Like, fucking put it out there.
The players just want to be able to play a decent game, and it's killed me for years that the executives at Sony, the executives at Microsoft, they can't see past the end of their nose on this, because if they would just focus on putting out a primo game for the players, they're gonna bring in more money.
Oh, you're gonna make fucking bank.
Like, say Sony puts out a game. Let's say, Bloodborne, okay? It's an exclusive on PlayStation right now. But let's say they didn't put it out as an exclusive. They published the game, they put it out, and they said, hey, we're putting this across all platforms. And Microsoft and even Nintendo, because Nintendo's getting Elden Ring here coming up sometime towards the end of this year, even if they put it over there.
But how are you going to play an Elden Ring on a Switch?
It's going to happen, man. Switch 2. But if they had just focused on putting it out across all platforms and making it a primo game for the player base, stop worrying about, who's going to get the money for this. Put more money in the hands of the developers, for one, because the developers are the ones that are putting the games out. And two, if Sony puts the game out across all platforms, they should rake in a majority of the profits. Right. Portions of that should go over to Nintendo. Portions of that should go over to Microsoft. But the same is true for Microsoft and Nintendo. If they put out a game that went across all platforms, they should rake in the majority of those profits.
Right. I'm just going to say this, too, though. If they put the game handling more into the developers' hands, you realize we would have a lot more primo games.
That's the whole thing.
Exactly.
That's what I'm looking for.
Like, these developers are being told what to do by
how to do it.
I'm going to put it out there. And I might catch some heat for this one, and I don't care. Assassin's Creed 1, all of Ezio's storyline, Chronicles, everything up to, I would say, probably Odyssey, was phenomenal.
Yes.
Great storylines, great, even though Black Flag was where they really started getting away from the Brotherhood side of things.
Well, that was the thing. They were even specific in Black Flag. They made sure the character even stated, I'm not a fucking assassin. I stole this off one of them. I'm a goddamn pirate.
Right.
Cool. You stated plain and clear, we're not looking forward to being straight up assassins here. He's just got some skills, but he's just a fucking fancy pirate.
Right, but it still played Assassin's Creed.
Right, because
the parkour and all that. Now you look at, I hate to say it, because I was all for it when I heard about Valhalla, because I'm huge into fucking
I hated
it. Into the Viking lore. My issue with it was the parkour was subpar to the original Assassin's Creed.
Right.
It was not nearly as flushed out. It felt very janky. And this is where I'm going to catch a lot of heat, because my favorite Assassin's Creed, as far as parkour goes, was Unity.
Yes.
Unity had
I agree.
Best
I agree with that.
Parkour play style.
But with that said, I do want to throw in here the beginning scene from Revelations when Ezio is going up the hillside and just taking out the Templars.
That was great.
My God.
That was phenomenal.
The only thing I liked...
That goes back into developers having control of the games that they're pushing out, and not the gaming company CEO and the higher-ups going, you're going to do this, this, and this. We don't want this. We want this.
Well,
I will hats off to the combat developer for Valhalla for one reason. He did open up. Doing the assassin stuff wasn't the greatest in Valhalla. You got to admit, that was rough. But if you wanted to go up to a town, blow your war horn, and lead a Viking raid on a village, it was great. It was great. You became 100%, this is Viking times, I'm taking all your gold and everything else. that part of the dynamic, that part of the combat, whoever developed that system did it great.
Yeah.
But as for everything else, it fell off for me. Now, when shooting back
I'm
to
not gonna
Unity,
lie to the storyline of Valhalla just
sucked. Now
it
we
put me off.
shoot back to Unity.
Yeah.
Storyline was great. Parkour was
Unity was
amazing.
probably the last one that I really enjoyed playing.
One thing you all fucked up.
I didn't even care for Odyssey.
I wasn't a big Odyssey guy. One thing they fucked up is taking that multiplayer dynamic of like how you make your assassin. If you want to be a little bit more brawly, so the rest of your guys can get high stun. That multiplayer concept was great. It was phenomenal.
Oh, it was absolutely phenomenal.
And then they didn't do it anymore.
Well, they.
What?
Okay, here's the thing. I want to see another multiplayer Assassin's Creed game, but what I don't want to see is how it was done in Unity. The multiplayer in Unity was a lot of fun, but either make it 100% multiplayer integrated, or don't even put multiplayer in it.
Right.
Yep.
And I want both modes. If I want to work with 4 other guys, but I also want that classic mode where it was the hide and seek. You guys remember that one?
Yeah.
Yep.
You get yourself a disguise, you kind of blend in. I want that too.
Oh yeah.
That classic
the PvP
multiplayer
mode was a lot of fun.
That was fucking great. And those were the older ones, and they made it amazing.
That was part of my issue with Unity was there was only like a. First off, Unity was not a long game at all. It was only like 20 or so 34 missions, I think, total.
Yeah.
That you did.
And like
only I want to say it was like 9 or 11 of them were multiplayer capable.
Mm-hmm.
Now the heists that you could do in multiplayer,
those were fun.
That was hats off.
I want to see.
Well done.
If I want to see an Assassin's Creed where they actually take you into a guild, like in Unity, you get your cowl, you get your blades, and when they say, "This is the Brotherhood, welcome to it," well, I want to be able to call my brothers to be like, "Hey guys, we have a target here. He's got a lot of guys. I need some help." I want every mission that I can choose to either do by myself or do with my team. I want the full flow of the parkour from Unity. I want. There's a lot of aspects you guys could take just from across their spans of games and make one badass Assassin's Creed and bring it back to life. Because right now, I'll be real, it's dead.
I want a multiplayer game that brings the Brotherhood from the first game. I want all the people that you saw walking around in the Brotherhood. I want that online.
Right, like when you walked around in all of Ezio's gameplays, and you could see assassins like lingering around a corner, watching, waiting for your signal. I want that. I want that.
Just throwing out there for me, as far as the Assassin's Creed games go, Revelations, the Ezio collection, but Revelations in particular, that was like
that was peak Assassin's Creed.
It was peak. They did the best job on that game that I have seen of any of the Assassin's Creed games.
From cutscenes to combat, it was amazing.
It was really hard for them to top that because just the first opening sequence, like I mentioned earlier, going in and you have a cutscene where you're running up the hillside and you're taking people out, and you start going in, you go from that flawlessly into combat and you're fighting the people going up the hillside to get to the top, and then you go back into a cutscene and then you go back into combat. It was fantastic.
Yeah, the flow was great.
They had everything that they needed to, and they were really set up to go into the next games.
Correct me if I'm wrong. The Ezio series of cutscenes, let's go Revelation cutscenes here. Look at their cutscenes compared to compared to Unity. Unity had some good cutscenes, but I can't think of one bad Revelations cutscene where Ezio wasn't on fucking point. Like from the in and outs of combat and cutscene, Ezio had that, like, you had the character flair in the game itself, like the way he talked, the way he moved. There was an individualism to the character, even in cutscene. Where in
Right.
Unity, Arno, like, he's a good character, but there's no, okay, he's a drunken Frenchman who has a dead dad who was something, and we've seen that before.
Okay, I mean, Arno's story was a little more complex than that.
It was,
So-
but he didn't have a
But-
lot of individuality. Where, like,
Hold up,
I do-
on the other side of that, Putz is waiting for us to join the game.
all right, guys.
I do want to
Okay.
point something out before we get done with this, though.
Okay.
Just as far as Assassin's Creed goes, the way that they had the original game set up, because you went from the first game with Altair, and then going into Ezio's storyline, and then you kind of progress up. Those games, the reason that they stood out so well is because it was a linear flow. You went from a set point, and then you progressed through the story.
Mhm.
Now, where
Yeah.
I personally think that Assassin's Creed went wrong was they started bouncing all over the place. It went from this is a set point and we're following your ancestors to going crazy. They went from that over into like even Assassin's Creed 3. Assassin's Creed 3, you have Revolutionary War, right? Well, then you go into Syndicate, which is like British
The British Revolution.
Revolution, and you go into that, and then you go back into Odyssey, where you go back in time, and it wasn't linear anymore at that point. It stopped having a good flow. It
Yeah.
didn't make a whole lot of sense for the story, because the story was we're following your ancestors to get to the Apple of Eden, and after they got the Apple of Eden, it all just falls apart.
Well, they kind of
Yeah,
fucked
well,
up. You killed off your
They
ancestry
killed
line.
they killed Desmond Miles, and that was it. And then they're like, well, how do we do this? Well, now anyone can splice into the DNA, and it's
Right.
like, no,
And
that was
that's
such
that's
a
where I
shitty
think
way
that
to
they really
reintroduce it.
That's where
Right.
I think they really screwed up, because it went from only you can tap into your ancestors' DNA
To
into
now anybody can do it.
now anybody can access your DNA and you can go back and relive through stories. And that's not the way that the game was originally set up. Had they
That's-
not done that, it would have. And like you said, even if they had killed Desmond Miles,
They did.
throw in a surprise. Well, that's what I'm saying. Even with killing him off, throw in a surprise.
You could have
Him
made the
and
girl
I can't
pregnant.
remember. That's what I'm saying. They could have taken the girl, she could have had a kid, and then the kid could have grown up. That kid now has access to the storyline because he's through the same DNA. They could have
Right.
done it that way. They didn't choose to. They stopped. I think that's where they failed.
Right.
No, I agree.
One more thing before we close this out. They should have allowed us to play Templars too.
They should have.
I
That would have been
would so we're gonna make this quick. The only one we have really gotten a chance to play as a Templar, or you played three aspects, was Rogue. If you guys would have done better with Rogue with Shay, because you're an assassin, you get turned on, you become a Templar, you realize they're fucked up, so you become a killer of both. You have no qualms, no quarrels. You are the middleman. That was a great concept, and they dropped the ball so hard, so fucking hard.
I think what pissed me off the most, just really like you said really quick. I think what pissed me off the most is that when Syndicate came out, it didn't really tie into me. So
No.
that game in particular, it just ruined the whole game series. I didn't even want to play Black Flag. I didn't even want to get into it.
Best part of that game was the fact that it's a set of twins. They can do combos and stuff together, but the combat was completely different. You guys, Ubisoft, man.
No.
But then-
Ubisoft as a company itself is just plummeted.
Then they rehashed an old idea and brought the twins back for Odyssey, and didn't
Yeah.
really care for it at that point either.
Nope.
All right.
Nope.
We're going to close
Anyway,
this one out, guys.
That's been our game rant for the
We'll
for the
probably
evening.
have another game rant. If you guys would like to hear more of our game rants, we've
I'd
kind
love
of
to
been
do this, make this a weekly fucking thing.
right. We've been kind of tossing an idea about doing a weekly podcast-esque like thing. If you guys want to hear more of it, you guys want to have other comments or things you want us to talk about, let us know. Until then, about 10 minutes.
Yeah, shoot some.
We'll see you in
shoot some
Phasmophobia.
games. Shoot some games our way to rant about.
Yeah.
Yeah.